All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division where there's new accusations coming from Terence Crawford's camp towards Errol Spence Jr.'s camp about why their fight did not take place. This time coming from trainer who had said very little about this before, Brian McIntyre. Now, let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where we're once again going to talk about something related to a fight, a gigantic fight that did not take place. And that is the fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, but new information or accusation, should I say, from Terence Crawford's camp towards Errol Spence's. Before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter to the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does mean a lot. Thank you for supporting the channel and the Cash App and the Super Chats. Also in the Super Thanks and videos like this, which is really how the channel keeps going. Also, thank you so much to everybody that is new to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos, which we do pretty much every day. Really do have great boxing conversations over here, even if you disagree with me. So let's get into this. Brian McIntyre is the trainer of Terence Bud Crawford, who is the WBO 147-pound champion. They were in a negotiation with Errol Spence for the undisputed title at welterweight. Errol holds the other three belts, the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF. And they were in a prolonged negotiation and eventually fell through because Terence Crawford walked away from the negotiation and unexpectedly took a fight with a guy named David Avanesyan on BLK Prime, a new app that he signed a one-fight deal with. And it appears as if he's going to fight, more times on that network. Now, at least that's what it seems like. Now, up until now, Brian McIntyre, up until now, at least to my knowledge, Brian McIntyre, who goes by the name BOMAC, has not really said anything about the negotiation, other than to say when they go back in it that, they're going to have to come right with the money. But he said something recently that was, to me, was like, wow, I'd never even heard Terence Crawford say that, which was that there were some things that the Al Haymon or in the PBC had said to them that wound up not being true, right? So you have to wonder, what is that? But essentially saying if you're saying that they're telling you things that are not true, that's pretty much saying they lied to you about something. He did not say what it was that they lied about, but it basically showed even one more time what one of the major problems to getting that fight was. And I think the biggest problem that there's probably going to be with them making the fight in the future, which is that going in the last negotiation, Terence Crawford and Terence Crawford's camp did not trust the PBC and was very mistrustful of the PBC. And you heard that when Terence Crawford said, that people that they knew that were with the PBC say, oh, make sure that they don't screw you, right? Said that on Instagram during that big, long conversation he had where he let out a bunch of information, some contradictory, some, whatever. It is what it is. You guys, if you haven't seen it, I think his Instagram feed should still be up, but if not, it's all over the internet. But regardless, just shows that there's a great amount of distrust that goes on between the two of them. But that is, I have to say, it's the first time that I've actually heard I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is about Terence Crawford that makes the PBC and Al Haymon do things with them that they don't have a record of doing with anybody else. Like, I've heard people say things about Al Haymon and the PBC where, they're struggling to get fight dates, right? But now I haven't heard anything about those guys not telling people the truth and making up things. For what reason? I don't know. I would only assume that, that BOMAC may be implying that they just never really wanted to fight. But regardless, one thing that BOMAC did say was he brought up again, he was like, who doesn't offer a guarantee? And right there, I was like, okay, man, you guys got to stop that, man, because most of y'all know full well, at least this, I won't say they know full well. Let me say it as safely as I can, that has been denied by multiple people on both sides, that there never was a guarantee offered to Terence Crawford. The story is that Terence Crawford wanted a very high guarantee of $22 million. That's the number that is floating out there. And that Showtime and the PBC original offered him was 5. And they didn't think 5 was enough. So then they move up to the PBC moved up to 8.5, and then Terence Crawford moved down to 15 million, and then the PBC went to 10 million, but Bud would not get off of 15 million. And after that, they then shifted to there not being a guarantee. Now, in the case where there is no guarantee, does not mean that you're not going to make money in the fight. It just means that the costs associated with it, you wind up that are less. So you're going to start getting paid off of the net of the pay-per-view receipts and the gate and all of that stuff at an earlier point. All right, where otherwise you say if you had $15 million in costs, they'll say, okay, well, we're going to start paying you on your pay-per-view after we make our money back. But since they wouldn't have guaranteed any money, they would have gotten paid at an earlier stage. But what it means going forward, though, is I don't see how this is going to change at all. Right. Because now say, for example, and, I really don't know. Right. We just know what people are saying but I'm sure there is a distrust from Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, Terence Crawford's camp towards Errol Spence Jr.'s camp. Now you have that thing compounded because now the way that they pulled out of that negotiation with Errol and Al Haymon, those guys are going to have a level of distrust going forward with Terence's camp, because Terence pulled out of the negotiation and went to fight on somebody else's network without even telling them. So that's going to make those guys think the whole time, okay, what do you got going on that you're not telling us, right? So all in all, it's kind of a jacked up situation, which is why, again, if you remember this channel, have been watching this channel, you've heard me be, speaking pretty consistently about those guys needing to fight other people or Terence going to fight, I say, Jaron Ennis. People keep pushing back on there like that's some big thing that can't happen. And I don't know why it can't happen. And Errol, if he has his mandatories, take care of the Keith Thurman fight and get back into the situation where these guys, at least one or the other, really start seeing, what their worth is in the fight, and they can get the fight made. But anyway, man, just a lot of mistrust. And never before, though, have heard those guys say that the PBC was lying to them. They didn't specify what it was, but a clear accusation from BOMAC. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.